Hello everybody! Did you miss me? I'm gonna level with you folks. I have not been doing very well on the old reading in the last month. Not because I haven't wanted to read or because I have been in a bit of a slump, but because there's just been so much stuff to do and I just got caught up in it all. And you know when there's just so many different things that you want to do that you just do nothing and stare out the window. It's been one of those kind of months. Everything is hectic, lots of stuff going on. So yeah, I didn't even do a monthly wrap up this month because I only finished 2 books. Having said that, I've had about 10 on the go. So it's more just that I've been zipping from one book to another and I haven't really been finishing anything, haven't really been kind of concluding anything. So there wasn't really much to say about those. But, you know, all of this will hopefully be added on to the end of next month because I'm about partway through a lot of different books at the same time. I'm working my way through the International Booker long list, which will become a shortlist on Tuesday. May do a reaction video to that if I feel like I've got anything to say about it. I did do some predictions, but my predictions are mainly just based off the covers. The covers, the blurbs, and vaguely what people have said about them and their popularity. And I always predict things wrong anyway, so there's not really it's not really going to provide much of an insight there. I will be unboxing my Illumicrate as usual, and yeah, my friend Faye from Books and Chocolate. Faye Books and Chocoholic. Oh my goodness. Terrible friend. Terrible friend. Books and Chocoholic. Faye loves to read. Anyway, she is a fantastic channel. She has got lots and lots and lots of stuff to say about books and she's brilliant, so absolutely go and check her out. Her channel is brilliant and she reads a lot faster than I do. She bombs through books and gives lots of insightful opinions on them. So yes, get yourself over to Faye's channel if you want some more bookish ramblings. I'm using the term rambling in a good way. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Anyway, Faye tagged me in the quarter year crisis tag, which is basically a series of questions about what I've been reading, about kind of the books that I've read this year so far. I went on Goodreads and it says, if you want to catch up, you need to read 11 books. So it's good to know that it's March, April. It's good to know that it's April and I'm already way behind on that. It was a good way to start the year. It's all chaos. Anyway, there's about 9 questions. Let's see what they are. Question number 1, how many books have you read so far this year? It's a bit of a personal question. I have read 15 books so far this year. That includes 1 reread, which was The Blade Itself, which I've just finished last night. I would say I'm doing all right. I would say that's my numbers are okay. I tried to participate in the Trans Rights Readathon, but again, my reading at the moment is very slow, and I'm going to be reading some of those books in the next month, the month after instead, because obviously we want to be celebrating trans lives all through the year. So I'm going to be, yeah, reading some of those now that I've dug them off my shelf. They all sound fantastic. Like I say, I'm trying to catch up with the International Booker long list. I've got some reviews up and coming with those, currently midway through On a Woman's Madness and Solenoid, which I think could be a contender for the winner. Also, the Women's Prize shortlist has just been announced, so I'm kind of working my way through those as well. And yeah, lots going on. I'm reading my way through the First Law trilogy for my fantasy side of things. I've got this lots of little stacks here. There may be jigsaws there as well for books I want to read, but I just feel overwhelmed. There's so many different things I want to get my teeth into. There's like lots of murder mysteries I want to read. There's fantasy series. I've got an upcoming project with Faye from Books and Chocoholic, Rachel from Reading Fairy channel, Laura from Hardy's Books and Mare from Lady Mare Reads as well. I'll link all their channels below. We've got stuff up and coming in the pipeline. So at the moment I would say too many books, too little time. And yeah, so 15 so far, good mix of genres, and yeah, we will hopefully try and keep the eclectic reading going throughout the year. Question number 2, have you already found a book that may be a favourite in 2025? And if you've been following the channel, following my progress, you'll know that Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb is not only a contender for Best Book of the Year, but probably for my favourite book. I have a lot of love for it, and obviously this is a slow burn that builds and builds over the trilogies, so that's definitely up there. The best book I read in the last month is Havoc by Christopher Bollen. I love this book. It was very Patricia Highsmith. It's about an older lady who is she's hotel hopping. She had to leave a hotel, I think it was in the Alps. She had to leave that hotel pretty quickly. We don't find out initially what that was about. And she is living in Luxor in Egypt. And she's in this luxury hotel, and it starts out innocently enough, and soon she finds herself meeting her nemesis in an 8-year-old boy. So she's 80, the boy's 8, and they end up in this kind of battle of wills, and it has you questioning kind of, you know, how much the narrator can be trusted. It's fantastic. It's one of those that escalated quickly type situations. I loved the hotel setting. I loved the creepiness. I loved the uncertainty. I can see why there might be things that people might think were a little bit, you know, imperfect about this book, but overall I really, really enjoyed it, much more so than my mum, who also read it along with me. But yeah, she's wrong, the book was great. So yeah, that'll probably be up there as well. Just reread The Blade itself, which was fantastic the first time I read it, and I've heard that the series only gets better. We've got some great literary fiction on the go. We've had The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, which was a fantastically accomplished fantasy murder mystery. I'm reading some good ones. Yeah, 2025 is going to be a good reading year, I feel. And yeah, I'm excited to see what else it brings. Question 3, any 1-star books or least favourite books of the year? And this is actually a no. I haven't read any terrible books this year. I think my least favourite book I've read this year was actually still pretty good. I would say it was probably the Society of Puzzle Makers, just because the stakes were so very low, and I just found myself struggling to pick it up because there wasn't really anything propelling me forward into the story. That was probably my least favourite book, and it was still a 3-star read. So yeah, this year has been good so far, but I have only read 15 books. So I'm sure I'll have read something slightly crappier as the year goes on. I do like to read bad books sometimes. I like a combination. I like to read a bit of everything, because if you don't read like books that are less good, that are a little bit crummy, how do you appreciate, you know, the great ones? How can you appreciate the true genius when you get such a beautiful book if all the books you read are good? Plus I like to moan about stuff. I do enjoy a good salty book rant. Question number 4, most read genre so far, and I'm probably going to say fantasy for this, probably because quite a lot of my friends are into fantasy, and I do tend to be inspired / influenced by the people around me, and if people are infusing about fantasy around me 24/7, that's what I'm going to be kind of picking up off the shelf because it's fresh in my mind. I do like murder mysteries, and I've had a few of those on the go as well. Been getting some literary in there as well, and with the prizes, so Women's Prize, book prizes coming up, literary was probably going to be, you know, taking over a bit more in the coming months. But yeah, probably fantasy is still the genre I've read most of this year. Number 5, a book that surprised you. So I'm reading the 39 Steps on audio, and I didn't realise it was going to be like a kind of spy thriller type book. I don't know, the cover didn't really give me that vibe, and I think it was probably introduced to me on Antiques Road Trip. So I was expecting it to be about someone kind of recuperating in a little village by the sea, and it's about a chap who's being basically chased across the countryside because he's become basically stuck in the middle, embroiled in the middle of this conspiracy theory. Conspiracy, it's not really a theory because it's happening, but he's become embroiled in this conspiracy and he's being chased across the country by bad guys. And it just wasn't what I'm expecting at all. The audiobook is being read by Robert Powell. It is quite a nice kind of soothing thing to have on while I'm sleeping. So it's the first time I've read a fiction audiobook. Most of the audiobooks I've tried out so far have been memoir, have been non-fiction, which is what I find easier to listen to. So yeah, that surprised me. Question number 6, a book that's come out in 2025 that I want to read but I haven't read yet. Oh goodness, there are so many. A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett, that came out this week. That is the second book in the Anna and Din series. Obviously we talked about that earlier in the year. Fantastic fantasy murder mystery, and I've been looking forward to the follow-up. What else has come out this year? What else have I received? There's a book called I Want to Go Home But I'm Already There. That one arrived the other day and I just love the title. That title it just speaks to me, and I'm hoping that the book will speak to me as well. The Dream Hotel, which is one of the by Leila Lilami, the International Booker book. I really want to read that one. That sounds like it's going to be fantastic. Ooh, what else? It's difficult to remember which books came out end of last year, which ones came out at the beginning of this year, because they do just tend to turn up at the door in parcels. I shall have to do like a haul video soon and just, you know, kind of show off the books that have turned up, because there's so many that I want to read. And oh, there's another book by, I think it's by Louise Hegarty. It's called Fair Play. I love the cover. This one just came out as well. So yeah, there's a few. There's a few, but I'm sure there are many more to come. And that's the problem, because the TBR never ends. Stuff just keeps getting added to it. Question number 7. One goal you made that you're succeeding at. Next question. Question number 8. One goal you made that you need to focus on. I need to do more reading, more writing, more booktubing, more... I basically need to put my phone somewhere where I can't get to it. And I need to stop scrolling. And I need to focus, and I need to make myself a cup of tea, and I need to sit with the cup of tea, and I need to read my books and not get distracted, because it's so easy. And like I say, I've got so many different books on the go, and I need to learn how to increase that concentration. So I'm going to hopefully try and do some more sprints. Gonna go for some more walks. I've got a list of goals and things as long as my arm, and yeah, at the moment not many of them are happening. But you know, we're just emerging from the winter, so it's the spring. Hopefully the spring will bring good things. But yeah, there's lots of plans, and I want to do some of my own writing as well, because I haven't done that in a while. And I've got plans. So yeah, there are lots of goals on the pipeline. And also I need to kind of catch up a little bit on my Goodreads goal, because at the moment it's taunting me with its, you need to read 11 books to catch up, and it's only April. Oh my goodness. And finally, question number 9, new to me, Booktubers. bookstagrammers that I recommend you follow, that I want you to check out. Obviously, my girls that I mentioned earlier, who I've got an upcoming project with. They're not new this year, although I suppose, like, you know when you meet people and it feels like you've known each other for like way longer than you have, but it can't have been that long because my channel's not even that old and I only met them so in the last kind of few months, I suspect. But like I say, Faye from Books and Chocoholic, Rachel from Reading_Fairy, I'll put them in the bio, Laura from Hardy's Books, who has a lovely bookshop down in Tunbridge Wells. If you're ever in that area of the country, go in and say hi. tell her that Ray sent you. Probably won't get you any probably won't get you any favour, but you know. Which Ray? And Lady and Mare from Lady Mare Reads. You know, these are all great channels. They've got some great opinions, and yeah, you should absolutely check them all out. If you want another of my favourite booktubers who my friend introduced me to last year, we've got the Disco King, who is absolutely hilarious. I'll put his details below as well. He does a lot of stuff on the book prizes, and he is just, you know, he's a lot more what's the word, he doesn't mince his words. He just he definitely will tell you what he thinks of those books, and it can be really, really funny. So yeah, whereas I'll kind of you know, beat around the bush a little bit, he'll tell exactly how it is. So yeah, those are my favourite booktubers. Obviously there's Lenny from the Lennyverse as well, who is, yeah, she does a lot of the she's into kind of literary fiction as well, and her predictions are often a lot better than mine. I've got loads of booktuber friends. I don't want, if I start listing them all, then I'll probably miss a couple, and then they'll be cross. So yeah, I'll just put a few in. I'll just put a few in. Anyway, thank you for coming and spending time with me today. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this is your first time here.